Coach, it's common for clients to come to you after they've been out of the gym for a long time or dealing with aches and pains that finally feel better and tell you that they're ready and they want to start pushing it in the gym again. I want you to draw this for them so that you can explain what safety actually looks like and keep your clients from getting hurt. I'm Dr. Sean Pastuch, owner and founder at Active Life. I've been helping people overcome chronic aches and pains in a physical fitness environment in a gym for over 20 years. The stuff I'm teaching you today is based on real world experience. It's not based on theory, okay? It's been tried and tested with real people in the real world. This is a version of this talk that's been boiled down until we got to the essentials of it. So just steal it, consider it yours. Feel free to credit me if you want or not. Use it. Here's the deal. The bottom line here represents time. It doesn't matter what the time is. We can say this is a week, this is a month. It depends on the injury and the healing time for the injury. So for the purposes of this, it's just general time. The green dotted line up over here represents a state of tissue healing that indicates readiness. So this green line indicates you are ready. That's it. Someone got hurt. They come back into the gym, they want to start working out again. They say the famous last words, I just wanted to see what I could do. The green line is when we know, okay, it's good for them to do it. Let's get into what happens here. The way that you feel is going to go from absolute crap down here all the way up to ready much faster than your tissues are going to go from absolute crap to totally ready. So what happens is we end up with this space right over here. I call this the re-injury curve, but what happens is this. We can draw a line straight down from feel, excuse me. Now, if we consider this 0% up to 100%, what is this? This line right here, this spot, is that 15, 20%? So what happens is this. Somebody at the point that they feel 100% ready to get back into it, they're probably only 20, 25, 30% ready to actually push it the way that they want to. So this is what we call the oops zone. The oops zone is where predictable injuries happen. They're predictable because what happens is the amount of work that somebody is doing vastly exceeds the amount of work that they're capable of. Let me show you how you can start to measure where they actually are instead of just using your gut instinct. Let's use running as a for example because it's just a single thing. You can do similar math across all of the exercises that you do with your clients. I want to give you the principle. So let's say that you run, turn this way for you. Let's say that one of your clients is running an average of 20 miles per week. They run 20 miles per week, okay? But about 8 weeks ago, they got hurt. And they haven't run at all in the last 8 weeks. We take 20 per week. This is what they used to do. This is what they want to get back to. Over the last 8 weeks, they've run 0 miles. They feel ready. Their Achilles doesn't hurt anymore, their plantar fascia doesn't hurt anymore, their back doesn't hurt anymore, whatever it is, and they want to get back into running. It's their first week back. How much are you going to advise them to run this week? Did they do 20? Is easing back into it doing 10? Is it 5? What is it? I'm going to give you a simple equation that you can do to figure out the answer to that. There's a conservative, and then there's the aggressive. The conservative is you divide this number by this number. So 20 divided by 8, right? 8 weeks out. We're looking at, what is that, 2.5? 2.5 miles this week. They haven't run in 8 weeks. They can run 2.5 miles at the pace they're used to running this week without risking re-injury. This is the most conservative. This is the most conservative. The most aggressive version is that we double this. So this times 2 is 5. 5 miles per week. So this week, they're 8 weeks out of running. They haven't run at all for 8 weeks. The most I would want you to have them run this week is 5 miles. The least, 2.5. Now you can imagine the kind of conversations you're going to be having, especially with those people who are A-line, the people who are very, very go, 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 go. They don't want to run 5. They don't want to run 2.5. They want to run 30 because they haven't run in the last 8 weeks. They feel like they have to get back everything that they think that they lost. That is a recipe for disaster. So let's just say that we're starting at 5. We're being the most aggressive with them. Okay, assuming everything goes well. There's something that I want you to understand called the acute to chronic workload ratio. Acute workload is what they've done in the last 7 days. So we have this number. So the answer here would be 5 miles this week. They did 5. So acute is 5. Chronic is what they've done in the last 4 weeks. In the last 4 weeks, they've only done 5 miles divided by 4 weeks. It's 1.25. We don't want to start increasing this number yet. Seems crazy, isn't. We're going to take 4 weeks at 5 miles. If you want to be super aggressive, have it. I don't recommend that. So 4 weeks at 5 miles. Chronic, should have written this out, is the last month. For ease, last 4 weeks. So once they've run 5 miles in 4 consecutive weeks, their acute will be 5 and their chronic will also be 5. Now it's time to start ramping up. The acute to chronic workload that we want to see is 1.3 on the conservative side to 1.5 on the aggressive side to 1. I'm going to keep this simple for you. All you have to do is multiply this number by, if you want to be conservative, 1.3. If you want to be aggressive, 1.5. Let's be aggressive. Week 5, they can run 7.5 miles. We got there by saying this number times 1.5. If we want to stay aggressive with this person, we now keep on multiplying this by 1.5 every week, provided that they don't have any setbacks. So let's fast forward here a little bit. I'll erase. Week 5, you ran 7.5 miles. In week 6, the most aggressive that you can be is increase that by 1.5 again. So we're looking at now 11 in week 6, 11.25 miles. Got it? Week 7, you're going to multiply this by 1.5 again. 16.875 miles. You want to be really aggressive again? We can increase this by another 1.5. Week 8, we are at 25.3 miles. There's more after the decimal, but really, who's keeping track of that when you're running? The point I want you to understand here is from doing nothing for 8 weeks to getting back to doing what they were doing before will take about 8 weeks. And that's the most aggressive path you can do. I wouldn't recommend doing it that way. I'd recommend more like a 1.3. So instead of multiplying everything by 1.5, multiply it by 1.3. That's your conservative. 1.5 is your aggressive. That is how Coach U keeps somebody from going from, I just wanted to see how it would feel, to going all the way back to here that day. What they need to understand is that there's a difference between what they feel and what is real. And this right here is the math behind it. Let's say they're not a runner. The math isn't that straightforward. You want to start calculating for total volume of work done. That's the best way for you to do that math. Any questions, post them to the comments. We'll jump in and answer. I'm Dr. Sean Pastuch. Like and subscribe to this channel so we can create more videos like this and reach more coaches like you so that we can together raise the standard of the fitness industry.